Like a woman. It's every He did mention it at the last meeting.
It's full.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. Let's begin the DuPage County Commissioners meeting for November 3rd, 2025. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a quorum present. There are two commissioners here. Commissioner Hofstadter mentioned at the last meeting he's not going to be able to be here. I don't remember what he said why, but he won't be here today. So it'll just be the two of us doing business. We have several things to approve. The first one are the minutes from the October 20th, 2025 meeting. Do you have any modifications, changes?
None.
I'll move that we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We have the claims against the county. If you have any questions or
No
concerns with those,
questions. No questions.
I'll move that we approve the claims.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And then we had the payroll. Any issues with that?
No changes.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the payroll.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And from I mentioned this earlier before everybody came in, if you're here to talk about or to listen to the Mid-States Corridor portion of the meeting, that will not be till 9:45. You're always welcome to stay and be here as long as you like, but if you want to get a cup of coffee and come back for that, you're welcome to do that as well. So, first thing up, Mr. Leakin, highway report.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, first thing I got is the Holland dumpster site. I called several individuals and I talked to a couple of others down there. There's still no luck. Still didn't find a site for the Holland dumpster site. I did talk to the owner now. We were supposed to get out in December, but he did say that he would let us on there until, he's not planning on doing anything until like April. He said, so if we want to stay on there until March, but he would like to charge us $150 a month for January, February, and March. So,
And what is-
but we're still looking,
What were we paying before? Like $500 a year?
$600 a year.
$600 a year. I think $150 a month is probably a fair. He's kind of doing us a favor. He could kick us off. So,
Yeah, it is, but
would you have any problem with that, Commissioner?
Not at all.
But we're still looking.
Sure.
We nobody wants to give up, which I understand that. I totally understand, but
Even for a lease, people don't have or have you been trying to make a purchase?
we was trying to make a purchase, but as far as lease too, we could have went on Holland down by their sanitation, or their lakes down there, but it was going to be off the road like 700 and some feet, and driving right past our maintenance building. It's just, I just don't feel comfortable with it. There's a maintenance building on one side and a big creek on the other, and we'll have to widen the road.
And it's fenced and gated, right? So we would be the only thing back there. People would be able to get to their property.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
so, but
So we're still searching for, what, maybe half an acre to put these on?
I'm looking for a half acre to an acre just to purchase. It'd be nice to purchase so we don't end up something like this again down the road.
Correct.
Get everything up and going and all of a sudden they decide to sell it or whatever. So it'd just be nice to purchase it.
Okay.
Also, part-time site attendant, we had to hire one and he is gonna start tomorrow for his training. So that's another thing. Annual material bids, reminder that we will be opening the bids on November 17th. So hopefully everybody will have their bids in and ready to go. Also sanitation sites, they will be closed on November 11th, which is next Tuesday for Veterans Day, and also on November 27th for Thanksgiving.
We will be open on the 28th and 29th,
Yes.
like regular.
Yep. So, increased cash and sticker limit. Our sticker and cash limit for right now is $1,500 for small sites, $2,500 for big sites. We would like to up that to $2,000 and $3,500 after the first of the year when the sticker prices increase. I'd like your approval if we do that.
Tell me what you mean by having the cash limits. What do you mean? Is that for making change or for what?
For both the sticker amount, how dollars for the stickers, plus the cash they have on hand. We don't want them to come in and get, like, say, 6 bundles of stickers. We'd like to keep it a little less, just whatever they need on hand is what we like for them to use. That's the reason why they always did do that.
So how many stickers do they normally keep on a day?
Like 25, what would that be? I think it was 3 bundles times 500. So 1,500 was the big site and 1,000 was the small site, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you feel that that's necessary, that's fine, but it does keep us more at risk the more bundles we have, because we're never gonna sell 1,500 tickets in a day.
Right, but this is, I mean, like as far as, and not in one day they won't, but say if there's a holiday the next day and we're closed, or if they can't get to the bank, whatever, and then plus also Friday and Saturday. A lot of them work Friday and Saturdays.
And then the deposit goes in on Monday.
On Monday morning, yeah. But like as far as they work on Friday, well, no, they still won't get the bank because they open up the sites at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, so yeah, they will have the stickers plus all the money from Friday and Saturday.
I'd be okay with trusting your decision on that, but I probably would like to talk to you about what we do for that security wise, outside of a meeting.
Right, okay.
Is that okay with you, Commissioner?
Yes, it's fine.
All right, I'll
Okay,
talk
so
to you after that.
you have a consensus to move forward with the 3,500, 2,000 and 3,500 after the first of the year?
All right. Rejuve Tech, they're gonna be starting up today, actually, and I believe you had put it on Facebook already. So, you put which roads you're gonna do, right? Okay. All righty. And that's weather permitting, of course. And sanitation sticker purchase, we need to resupply the sanitation stickers. We had only 2 quotes, and Trash Stickers Incorporated came in a low bid, $7,950. And that includes delivery. This is the same price as last year. So we did go ahead and order those. So, and that's all I got.
That sounds good. Do you have any questions for, any comments?
Nope.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Don.
Thank you.
County engineer's report?
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
We'll start out with an update on the paving projects. So CalCar has completed paving on 580 North, and they are planning to start paving at Du Bois Cusco Road this week and have that finished by the end of the week. And then that will leave Old Petersburg Road and 490 West, which are planned to be finished next week. After those are all done, that will wrap up the 2025 paving projects. I wanted to let everyone know that the speed limit signs on County Road 490 West have been changed from 45 to 35. That was after the ordinance was approved to allow for that change in speed limit. So it is fully enforceable now.
Okay, did we put something out there in advance for that to let people know that it was dropping or anything to alert?
No, just the visual of seeing that posted speed
Okay.
limit. So
Okay.
other than that, and outside of the speed study and the commissioners
Right.
meeting,
Right.
we haven't posted anything.
I believe that was in the city of Jasper, had it in their meeting as well, so it's been in the media.
Out. Okay.
Yep, that's correct. The bridge safety improvement federal call for projects. This is the one that was discussed previously about the 90-10 match to do the bridge in treatments and guardrail improvements on 50 to 60 of the Du Bois County bridges. So the council did sign the letter of financial commitment. I also checked with NDOT to see if this project would be eligible for consideration of funds, and it is. So the next step would be to actually submit the application. That application period is from today till December 5th. So I'd like to request the board's approval to go ahead and submit that application sometime this month. It is 100% complete, just a matter of filling out the application, turning in the documents.
I'll move we approve the highway engineer moving forward with the grant application for the bridge safety improvement.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Bridge 21, that is located over on 200 West over Little Creek, which is 0.6 miles north of County Road 600 North. That was put on Facebook indicating that we will be closing that road today, and it's expected to have a road closure of approximately 6 weeks. Work at that bridge will consist of removing the existing superstructure and replacing it with new steel beams and a concrete deck. We'll also be adding some riprap to add scour protection to the footer. And the bridge will be raised approximately 10 inches, so we will have to do some asphalt work as well to allow for a smooth transition. There will be no through traffic at all, including emergency vehicles. So it'll be about 6-week closure on that.
What, did you let 911 know that? Or do you make those kind of calls, let people know when roads will be closed?
Our front office lets dispatch know, and then we got the posting on Facebook as well. Portersville Road West, there is a small structure, number 72, which is 0.15 miles south of Hensel Road. We've got a small structure inspection contract with BF&S, and during that inspection, they realized that that structure actually meets the definition of a bridge, which is anything a clear span 20 feet and over. So that structure is in the process of being transferred over to the National Bridge Inventory, and it will get its own number. And then we will have an initial inspection done on that under our current bridge inspection contract with American Structure Point.
What does that change for funding purposes or anything? Does it do anything?
It will fall under the bridge inspection contract now, which is funded 80% by the feds and 20% match, whereas previously under the small structures inspection, we paid that at 100% local funds. So it does help us out there. And then upcoming projects, just wanted to give a heads up that we will be doing a superstructure replacement to replace the steel beams and concrete deck on Bridge 116, which is located on County Road 820 East, 0.8 miles north of Schnellville Road. That work is expected to happen right after we finish up Bridge 21, so sometime around middle of December.
Will that close all through traffic as well?
Yes, it will. And the last item I have is,
My only concern with that
Yeah.
is because we had this problem on Division Road with, when the previous engineer was here, we tried to get something done in December and then ended up stretching out for 4 months. Do you have any concerns on that, or is this a different kind of?
the only concrete that will be poured on that will be the deck itself, which will be done in one day. Typically in December, you have some days where the weather's warm enough to get a concrete pour in. But we'll just have to play it out and see what the weather looks like. If the winter hits hard and it hits hard quick, that may have to get postponed.
It just makes me nervous if we disrupt people in the area.
Yeah,
Or
we want to avoid that at all costs.
I would err on the side of not doing it if you're at a 50-50. If it gets to that point, but you know better than I do.
Yep.
Just want to say my piece. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Last item I have is for additional appropriations. So Bridge 78, that's a bridge located over Patoka River on County Road 600 West. It's one of our larger bridges, coming in at 222 feet long. It's 3 spans. It was built in 1969. And in January of 2025, we had an agreement approved with American Structure Point for design services to prepare the plans to do some rehab work on that bridge. And those plans are nearing completion. They're expected to be complete at the end of November, with a letting in December to January, and then have it awarded to a contractor sometime in January or February. So that way construction work at that bridge can start in the springtime and go into the summertime. So I've got an estimated cost on that there, around $650,000. So with your approval, I'd want to go to the council end of this month. We've already advertised for that, correct, Sandy? For the $650,000.
It'll be advertised.
It will be advertised, okay. So I'd like to go to council to request approval for $650,000 to come out of the Cume Bridge Fund. We already have a line item, Bridge 78. And that construction work will be to do a latex modified concrete overlay with a hydro demo, semi-integral in-bank conversions, some asphalt approach work, and also removing and resetting the existing guardrail. Any questions on that there?
What township is that in? Or where is this
That's
roughly?
Bain, is that Bainbridge? I believe it's Bainbridge Township. It's,
I was thinking it might be Madison.
is that Madison or
Is it
Bainbridge?
to the west of Jasper?
Yeah, 600 West, Bridge 78 over Patoka River.
I was just trying to get an idea of where it is. I can't picture that one.
That's what Dish Road runs into.
Yes, that'd be Madison.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Okay. I don't have any issue with him moving forward with the construction work on that bridge, do you, Commissioner?
No.
All right, you have our consent to move forward with that.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
There are a couple more seats up front if you'd like to sit. Okay, next up, we are a little early, but we will, I'm actually gonna wait on the EDP subdivision variance. Let's go down to, okay. How about this? Let's talk about the FIT distribution and the CVET distribution. You wanna give a summary of what's going on there?
Basically, the law changed on how we distribute it, and the county can choose how they want their own funds. In the past, we had to divide them out to the county funds, and the council voted to put it all in a county share. But last week at my conference, I learned that you guys have to do that as well.
So historically, we put it into county general.
Well, it was split between the county tax funds, and now they're gonna give us it one lump sum and say, how do you want your share? Do we want us to split it out between our funds? And that's how it was, when the majority of it went to county general anyway. So we budgeted next year to have it all in county general for the council.
So a year or 8 months from
Next
now, you'll say, how do you want to
Well,
divide this?
it'll start in 26.
Does it make any sense to give Region $1,564? I mean, does it do some of these
It's a
make
lot of
sense?
calculations that they're trying to get rid of.
Okay. So is the net total distributed, is that the total for
It's
the
a
year?
lot of them.
So that's the year's worth, is $63,000?
It's twice a year.
So we have $130,000 that comes in and just gets,
And you're not always guaranteed that amount.
and is it the same way for both of these?
They're both on there.
The
They're
funding,
both on there.
oh, that's both,
That's both.
okay. So that's a financial institution tax and the
Commercial vehicle.
commercial vehicle. Would your recommendation be to leave it,
Small county general.
put it all in county general instead of dividing it?
Make it easier.
I think that would make the most sense, because then you can, we can decide what to do with it from there. So the only issue I would see is probably the county park and recreation. They're going to be losing, that's only a few $100s, but I guess that can be made up some, just by a different appropriation method. So there's no action we would need to take today, is that correct?
Just
We'll agree that it goes to county general.
put it in county general.
For the record, we'll put that in the minutes. I'll move that we approve putting the CVEC and the tax into county general.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So would this be a situation where if we wanted to, they were talking about putting a new sheriff's deputy, could we put this money towards
No.
that?
It's a receipt into county general, and then it's budgeted after that.
Good enough then. Okay. As we still have a few minutes, I want to give for the board, I wanted to give you an update on the comprehensive plan. So far,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we've had over 1,100, I think it was 1,141 as of Thursday, people that gave survey responses. So at the beginning of the project, we asked how many would be considered successful, and he said, if you get 400, that'd be pretty good.
Seriously?
Yeah, so we've exceeded that, so I appreciate the public and everyone taking part in that. So Councilwoman Meredith Vogel and I were given a file on Friday. It's like 117 pages of the results of the responses to that. Because we didn't want to just get a summary from the consultant. We wanted to be able to read every individual person's open-ended question answers. Because what he gave us initially was AI summarized it and it says this. So I don't trust that. So we're going to read through those over the next week. And I think that'll give us a pretty good opinion on what people think of
Sure.
What's most important for the county moving forward. Also, I participated Friday and Saturday in comprehensive plan work with the city of Jasper. They had something they called a think tank on Friday for 4 hours and about 3.5 hours or so on Saturday, something like that. And that was insightful to see how they were running their comprehensive plan. They're running theirs concurrently with us, but it's different. And they also had about 1,100 answers to their survey. And yeah, I think it's going well. I think we're gathering a lot of good data to see what people want for the future of our county. And there will be public sessions for that coming up as well. So people probably early next year so that the general public can come and give all of their input. I did just want to give a mention that we had local bands competing this weekend. Forest Park and Jasper both competed in semi-state. They both had great seasons. Jasper is advancing to the finals, the state finals next week. And because my son's on the board, I just felt like I should say, hey, they're really good.
That's important.
Well, I was hoping Commissioner Hostetter would be here because his son's on the band too. So
Tell us a little more insight.
we were just going to act like just as elected officials that we just really support our local, not that our kids were on, we were going to leave that out. But no, the kids did really great. You boys had a great season. I watched some of their
Awesome.
video last night. So yeah, it's just good to see success in our community.
And the girls volleyball.
Yeah, girls
Jasper
volleyball,
girls volleyball did great.
for sure. Commissioner Stefano, every year in November, counties across the country come together and they do something called Operation Greenlight. We've done this for the last 5 years, I believe, and it's a nationwide initiative to recognize our veterans
Yes.
and to let them know that they're recognized and seen and supported in DuBois County. So if it's okay with you, for us as a board, from November 4th through 11th, Counties across the country will illuminate their buildings in green
Absolutely.
to just give notice of this. I've asked Mr. Hove to also talk to the city to make sure we get the lights across to do green. And some communities also do it like on bridges, or they do, you know, things that have lights on them, but we don't have any of that. But for downtown, this is what we do. So the courthouse, unless you're opposed, will be lit up in green in recognition of Operation Greenlight for our veterans. Do you have any
Absolutely.
issue with that?
No issue at all.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So thank you to our veterans. They're seen, appreciated, and supported. This was another issue that I wanted to bring up for Commissioner Hofstadter, because the county spends a lot of money on Amazon, right? Buying
Yes.
things, different departments buy supplies and things. When we first got involved with Amazon Prime, they said you can do it for free for the first year. No shipping, no fee to be involved in it. And I think for year two, they charged us $2,000 or something. It was some significant amount of money.
We never actually had to pay that.
Oh, we didn't?
We were getting ready, our time is in November, and last year in November, we paid it, but then the AIC started a program where we get it free, so we got that month back.
Okay,
So we've been really.
so I know it still gives
The Association of Indiana Counties.
Commissioner Hofstadter and some of us heartburn that we spend so much money on Amazon.
Right.
But that being said, at least we're not paying for that service like we thought we were going to 1 year. So that was a good update from the Association of
So will
Indiana.
that renew again next year?
It's at the end of every, it's from Thanksgiving, it renews every year, and we are automatically renewing.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, the last miscellaneous item until we move on to the next agenda item was would you please put that Commissioner Hofstadter's folder? I was able to meet with Mr. Boone Taylor a couple weeks ago. He operates the Operation Mind, Body, and Soul in DuBois County. He does a lot of work for local veterans and veterans organizations. And I wanted to just hand you this information so you can review it over the next 2 weeks. But he has some funding requests for potential for our consideration to use some of our opioid settlement dollars. And he has big ideas for things we can do to improve things for veterans in DuBois County. So one of them is to have a space where there's a gym for veterans and for law enforcement and some local people to use. He also has some peer recovery services, behavioral health services, and there's just a whole lot going on here. So I thought
Okay.
I'd hand that to you, let you consume that, and we can talk about it in more detail at the next meeting. There's one that says Soul Shop on the end, and I don't think he's requesting any funding for that one. That's just for your information, another thing that he's working on. I asked him how he is going to get all of this done, and he says that he likes to keep busy and he doesn't sleep much. And this is just something he's very passionate about, so he has a lot going on, but this is something that he feels certain that he can, can get done. And so just something for us to consider.
Okay.
I would ask Boone Taylor, Operation Mind, Body, and Soul, if you could, at the next meeting, if you don't mind, let us know. We have a budgeted amount for this money. We've already done money for the CARES program and for the Iraq RISE program at the jail. Just to let us know, give us a summary of what would be left after those. That'd be fine. Maybe we'll put that under miscellaneous items for the next meeting, so we can decide how we want to proceed.
Do you want him on the agenda, the next agenda?
No, not yet, I don't think.
All right.
But I think he would be happy to come whenever we needed him.
All right.
Okay, it's 8:30. We're gonna discuss the EDP subdivision variance. Is there a representative here?
Yes.
Hi, and who's gonna be on the phone?
Michelle.
Carlton?
Thanks.
So before they begin,
Michelle, that's the same.
we have, thank you. We have the county surveyor here. He's looked over this a little bit. Is that correct?
That's
correct. And Mr. Leffer, you've looked it over as well
That's correct.
as part of the subdivision review. And I guess before she gets started, there's an easement going to the property. It goes from County Road 650 West over to the 2 lots. And was that part of your review to see if that easement was satisfactory?
Yes, we were checking to see if there was a 20-foot public utility easement around the perimeter of the property, and along any lot lines for our subdivision ordinance, and that requirement was not met, and it would require a variance if they were wanting to exclude that easement. I think that's why they're here today.
So they're gonna ask do you think they're gonna ask for that today?
Yeah.
Release from that, or a variance from that, but what I'm talking about is the road access to the subdivision.
Yeah, that's okay.
So they don't have to have any frontage, they don't have to, for the ordinance,
We
they're
have a
good,
recorded easement for that.
and it runs perpetuity with the lots?
Yeah.
Okay,
And all the maintenance was in there, and that meets our ordinance.
that was my concern, because, so if it was a subdivision that had homes in it, wouldn't it need 80 feet, 60 feet of frontage?
60.
It
It used to be 130 feet.
Right, it's been minimized.
Because 100 years from now, if it has a home built on it,
I think
If it's over 3 lots, you know.
is that what it is, over 3
Yeah,
lots?
if it's over 3 lots, then you gotta have, the right of way width you're talking about, and then once they get over that, then they have to build a county road to our specifications.
Because I thought there were instances where a family wanted to put a single lot back there, and we made them run a
Like a strip.
next to the other road. That's not the case? Okay. Okay, please introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Sounds good. First of all, good morning. My name is Atlee Richards. I am the project developer with EDP Renewables, and Michelle Carlton, my project manager, is on the phone. We wanted to first by saying thank you for hearing our case today. We're here to present a subdivision variance request, as discussed. In the folders I just passed out to most of you, there's a few things. The first is a cover letter, which will be summarized today, a draft of the proposed subdivision map for your reference, a map showing surrounding infrastructure, also for reference, and then a battery storage fact sheet. We're happy to address any general battery storage questions at the end, if time allows. So for background, Duff Solar Park LLC owns a 15-acre parcel located behind Duff Conservation Club. EDP Renewables is interested in pursuing the opportunity for a future storage project in 2028 or 29. While the possibility of Duff storage is several years away, we are currently constructing infrastructure that affects both lots. And we would like to subdivide the parcel now so that one lot can be Duff Storage LLC. On September 2nd, 2025, EDP Renewables submitted a request to the Subdivision Review Committee and the Board of Commissioners to subdivide the parcel as shown on the survey labeled Duff Solar Park Subdivision, which you can see in front of you. The proposed subdivision ownership would fall under Duff Solar Park LLC Lot 1 and Duff Storage LLC Lot 2. During that meeting, the Subdivision Committee recommended that the subdivided parcel provide a 20-foot easement around the perimeter and between lot lines. Due to project's current infrastructure, we are unable to meet those requirements as specified by the Subdivision Review Committee, but we believe we have provided sufficient rights for the property in the future. So on the proposed Lot 2, we have already granted a utility easement to Du Bois REC to connect power to the project substation. We have also granted an electrical easement across Lot 2 to Lot 1. So on mine, it's highlighted pink, but this is the Du Bois REC easement, goes north to south. Additionally, Lot 1 is not traversed by a waterway. Local ordinance states that a drainage easement is only needed in the event the parcel is traversed by a watercourse, drainage way, channel, or stream, which Lot 1 is not. We are also constructing a detention basin to allow for proper drainage on Lot 2. Lastly, due to our lease agreements on adjacent parcels, that would be referenced the adjacent infrastructure map in color. Future developments would require EDP's approval. This is a unique situation as this is an electrical subdivision, not a neighborhood subdivision. The county highway engineer, Levi Lefert, has reviewed our request for a variance and does not see an issue excluding the public easement. For these reasons, we would like to request a subdivision variance that would remove the 20-foot public utility requirements. Any questions?
None yet, I'm gonna, I'll
Okay.
look this over one more time.
Sounds good.
Mr. Brosmer, would you mind coming up when you say? Pardon me? Would you mind coming up? So if there's no up here, I just want to ask you something on the map.
Oh, yeah.
So if there was no variance, what would this easement be that we're talking about?
20,
Right, the whole of it?
and 10 and 10.
And so they're gonna have none here?
None here, none there. None here, none there. You don't want any easements, right, you request. So if you're 20, if there's residential, you have a 20, 20, and then 10 and 10 in between each. So utilities came in the future, they can serve these single family. It's just like any subdivision.
So what would be service now to this line here?
They got, these are like private, like for the REC or whoever, these are not public. That's the whole question. There's panels here, there's panels here, there's panels here.
Right.
It's just like that. Only one that could be affected is, but they have.
They're on frontage.
We have frontage on 450, so if it's kind of a Levi. Surrounded by panels.
It's surrounded by panels for 30 years, but what, I'm just trying to think, what about 100 years from now? What is
That's
it?
right, yeah, that's the question.
So the decision in front of us is, this does look like it works for today.
It works.
It works for the next 30
That's right.
years. Is there a potentiality where this is bad for the future of the county?
Commissioner Blessinger, I was gonna say, if we want to talk about it more internally too, with the subdivision review committee, I, as county engineer, would recommend tabling it to discuss further on it. Because I know what was brought up initially, we were only looking at a subdivision perspective and if it's following the ordinance, or whether it is or isn't following the ordinance, but as far as what the big picture looks like on here too, that could impact the decision. And I don't know, like lot 2 was mentioned as storage. What's the storage all entail?
So it's like a battery storage project, energy storage, so it has several containers, it's in a fenced-in area. I have examples in reports if you need it.
I know what was presented to me in the subdivision review committee was pretty vague on the information. So I just want to make sure we know what we're looking at. If we need any additional details, I would personally feel more comfortable just making sure that we're looking at the full picture.
So you feel as if, under your initial review, with the information you had initially, it looks like because of the unique situation here, because we don't have this kind of thing happen very often, usually it's a person wanting to build a home, or it's a different situation. You made the decision at that time that you thought, it looks like it could probably work, but now you've been given a little bit additional information, you want to hold off.
I would recommend that. I'd like to go.
Okay. Nope, I'm not gonna go against that. I think that, do you have any questions, Commissioner Stephen?
No, I don't, I mean,
So as far as what you're gonna use it for, I don't know, from my review of statute, I don't know that we have any say on what you can do or what you can't do on the property, but we can say, we can require those easements, or we can require setbacks and certain things like that. So we'll review it again. I don't think that we're at I'm not at a hard no. If we can find a way to make it make sense for us and for the future, I think we can bring it up again November 17th. You're welcome to be here if you want, but I'm sure you don't live here. So it'd probably would be an inconvenience, but we can have you in on Zoom or on the phone and we can do it, at the 17th. You think 2 weeks would be enough time for both of you? For us to meet and talk about it?
Yeah.
So I think that's what we'll do. We'll table it until, unless Commissioner Stefanoga wants to act differently.
No, I think it's a good idea. I think we need to look into it. Sounds good.
So, yeah, I have looked at it and I think I have a decent idea of where we're at, but, so, and you know too, are you pretty familiar with the project and the lot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on lot one, was lot one recently two lots, like one lot here and then a smaller parcel underneath it, and they were combined?
Not in the recent, not recent enough that I would know.
Okay,
So I think it's just a 15-acre parcel and we bought it maybe a year ago. And then now we want to make it 2 lots for this reason.
because I think what it shows on our GIS system was there was on the southern part of lot one, there was a 1.859 acre piece. And then the other 2 pieces, lot 1 and lot 2, were 6.6 acres apiece. Not that it matters a whole lot, but I just wanted to confirm that you are combining, so the southern lot is a little larger than the northern lot. But now that I see what you're asking for, I don't know if that's a big concern. But anyway, that's what we're gonna do, and we will, bring it up again at the next meeting. You wanna put a time on that? Just 5 minutes. Do you think 5 or 10 minutes would be enough, Mr. Leopard, for next time?
Yes, shouldn't take long.
We'll do it at 8:30 on the 17th.
Sounds
So if you'd
good.
like to call in, you're welcome to, and we'll talk about it then.
Sounds good.
Thank
so
you,
much.
appreciate you being here. Michelle, thank you.
Thank you.
Just on that same topic, I know over the last couple of weeks, I've had a few phone calls, a few emails about people concerned about battery storage, similar to this.
Right,
And
same.
the ones that I've been getting more calls about were the ones on the subdivision that's closer to the airport. The battery storage system that would be potentially over that way. But, yeah, so I just wanted to say that we are looking into it. We're trying to move forward cautiously and,
Right.
with being thoughtful. Reassessment bid award is Geisler here.
Angie here?
Don't see her yet.
There's a contract. I don't see the-
I thought maybe she was out in the hallway.
Okay, Jackie, the county recorder.
Jackie McFerrin, County Recorder.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was here a few weeks ago on getting a Laredo contract Schedule D signed at the same time when we did our initial presentation. And we're adding 2 things into that, and I just wanted to come before the board to state that way you're aware.
If you don't mind, just tell just not for, I know what it is, you emailed it to me, but just for the public's knowledge,
Okay.
what is the benefit of the new things you're wanting to add? What benefit it is, or what things you would wanted to add to the
Okay,
contract?
the one thing we're adding is a thing it's called notary fraud alert. And that's for anybody that's a notary. They can sign up for free and it will alert them either weekly, monthly, daily, even if they want an alert saying something was recorded and it's indexed into their name, so they're aware of documents that are being recorded in our county. It's a new feature that's going to be going on in Indiana, and it's optional right now for counties to sign up.
So a notary can opt in to have
Yes,
that
they can
notice
opt
that,
in. It's free for them, free for everybody, and it's just an alert system to kind of help cut down on fraud. If somebody would steal their notarization
Mhm.
and notarize something fraudulently, it would help catch that. So that's the one feature. And the second feature is Laredo is also in the works, hasn't been created yet, but they are working on another e-recording platform, so similar to Simplifile, CSE, Indicom, and EPN. And it's going to be more for the general public to be able to use if they want to e-record. So it's a new system. It's not been created yet, but since we're doing this contract now, we thought we'd just go ahead and get our county ready to go for that. So it's just 2 added things we're adding on. It's no cost to the county at all to do that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is for all those that want to sign up with our county to do the Laredo subscription. It's not mandatory, but every county has one. So there's about 10 different contracts in the state of Indiana. We picked one that's similar to LaGrange. It's actually LaGrange's contract because we're doing escrow. That means that people pay upfront, so we don't have to chase after funds later if they don't pay. So they're gonna pay upfront and then,
Access fees?
yeah. So that's the only 2 things that I came here today for. And I just wanna get this approved so that we can table this and be done with it. So,
Okay, so we have a Fiddler contract we've approved previously. This Schedule D has been modified, and you're asking for approval for the modified contract. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem.
So I'll move that we approve the modified contract for Laredo.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. So I've signed, executed it, give it to the auditor. And anything else from your office?
That's-
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Schneider, would you mind, you move yourself up here? We give a couple more seats to the public. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay. Good. Bye.
Here she is.
Yeah, okay.
Ma'am, you're welcome to have a seat. We opened up a couple seats there. You would- Yes, for you. Yes, please do.
That one's really fun.
Sir, there's another seat. Okay. Well, we'd love to have somebody sit if they'd like to sit. There's one more chair. Okay, we have the county assessor here.
Angie Geisler, County Assessor. So I'm back with the cyclical reassessment bid and contract for you to approve and possibly sign. Go ahead and sign today. I had Greg already look at the contract. It's a state contract, so there's really nothing to change that really can be changed but he has reviewed it and approved it, so that's what I'm here for.
So we took a bid at the previous meeting. You reviewed what they put in, and it meets your standards, and it's gonna meet your
Yes.
needs.
Mhm.
How long does the contract go?
4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a company we've used for a
For a
while,
long time, yeah.
and it goes well.
Mhm.
Okay. Commissioner Stubbs, and I have any questions,
No
comments, concerns?
questions. She covered all of that pretty well last time, I think, so I'm good.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the reassessment bid as it's been presented.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And would you like for us to sign it, or would you like to sign it? It's been approved, so you're.
I don't know, Nick's not here, so I don't know if you want me to come back when he's here or.
Right, as the elected official, you have the authority to sign it once it's approved, so we'll just leave it that way. We'll let you sign it. It has to be approved by the commissioners, but then you can sign it, so.
Okay,
Well,
so you
you-
guys don't need to sign it?
We won't sign this one. We'll let you sign it.
You have our approval, so you can.
Okay,
Yeah, the ordinance says elected officials, once the commissioners approve it, have the authority to sign
Okay.
it themselves, so
let's
sometimes
make
we
sure.
sign it.
I will, definitely. Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say about your office or anything going on?
Mhm.
You're in good shape?
Yeah, we're running smoothly, on time.
Okay.
Just got compliant with our data for 2025, so, well, pending compliance, so,
It's always pending until the abstract.
yeah.
And everybody's assessments are going down and taxes will be nearly zero
Well-
next year?
I can't say that.
No, okay,
You have to look at the market data, that's what we have to look at.
okay.
But it's not,
That's what I always tell people.
we're not seeing any drastic changes, so. Mark, it seems to be kind of leveling off a little bit. Can you confirm that, Austin? This is Austin from Tyler Technologies.
Good morning.
He runs our project, so,
So you're not seeing any big bumps like we had several years ago in assessed
No.
values?
no, COVID really kind of gave us a jolt there a few years on assessments. So anyhow, that's all kind of
Level out.
leveling out a little. It's not near as drastic, so, okay,
Thank
well,
you.
that's good.
Appreciate it.
Didn't mean to hide, I just. Okay, thank you.
Could be some.
All right, it's 8:50. The next agenda item is HR case management. Mr. Rhodes?
All right, I got about 3 things here for you. So Marky Roach Human Resources here. So we'll kick off with the large case management for the insurance. So in probably around October timeframe, myself and Max with Houchins, we proposed that we would move to Unified Care Connect, to Unified Care Connect from Hines. So we've been with Hines Group for several years with UGS. So what they do is they manage our chronic care management for our conditions that, employees and dependents on the plan that has that situation. So we've made the motion to switch to Unified Care Connect because the program was more robust, as well as it would be a cost savings. So Hines was $155 per hour on the cases they reviewed, whereas Unified Care Connect was $5 per employee per month. So a much better deal, and you get a better bang for your buck. However, during implementation, they've informed us that they're going to charge $150 per hour now, plus $5 per employee per month. So I figured we'll let them know we weren't playing that game. So essentially, I'm here to basically ask the board to make a new motion that we would stay with Hines Group for 2026.
I'll make that motion that we rescind our previous motion to use Care Connect and that we will stay with Hines for this work next year.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion? Aye. There you go, motion carries.
And the next thing I've got is an employee has an extended medical leave. I have already forwarded copies of the letter that the employee made. So it is a tenured employee. So what they've had a situation in January and October, both resulting in FMLA qualifying events. They had weeks of FMLA on 25. So the doctor's certification, as well as the doctor's office here, they're supposed to return on December 8th. We're hopeful that they can come back even earlier than December 8th on a part-time basis. That's what we're expecting. However, job protected leave expires on November 6th. So that's why the employees requested that extension for about a month leave from the commissioners.
So the first thing that I always look at in these situations is, will it adversely affect the department? Is it going to make the department fail, cause some kind of major disruption? In this case, you already answered that. You'd reached out to the department head. The department head said that, of course, you'd love to have a full staff, but in this case, it's worth, the 30 extra days is worth the disruption.
Correct.
For this employee.
Yeah, and we're hopeful
That's
they'll,
accurate.
yeah, and we're actually hopeful that they'll come back on a part-time basis within this 30-day window anyway. We're hoping not to even need the full 30 days extension. But
So within those 30 days, is the employee required to pay the full share of their health insurance?
yeah, they'll continue to pay all their insurance, yes.
But they still pay the employee
Premiums, yes.
not like a
Not like a COBRA rate or
not a
no.
COBRA rate. So that's one of the things that it's a cost to the county.
Mhm.
Somebody's not working, but they're getting the benefit of us paying for the majority of their health care and other benefits. Okay. Commissioner Stella, what are your thoughts?
Well, if he could come back part-time, that'd be fantastic. But I mean, we don't know that. We can't predict that. So is he the one, I mean, do we have any kind of a doctor's statement or anything?
Yeah, they definitely will be back by December 8th.
Okay.
The diagnostics here are looking favorable for a part-time return date prior to December 8th.
Okay,
So I'm pretty confident that we'll have them back before then.
and he's paying his, insurance premium, so I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
So,
I'd be okay with giving a 30-day extension.
sure,
So I'll make a motion that we approve the request from the employee for a 30-day extension, unpaid leave to return December 8th or before.
a second.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries.
And the next thing I've got here is the county council. They were hoping to be able to come present this, and there was something come up, so they asked me if I would come in their place to present this. So I've also shared with you the vision of a wage benefits study that the county council's wanting to do on all the county employee staff. So we would partner with Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy on that. So what they would do is it would be probably about a 6-month long process. So we'd review job descriptions, get everybody in their proper classification. We'd do a analysis of not only private sector, local private sector, but also municipalities within our county, comparing with the cities and towns, and then also counties of our population and size, and take a look at our wages. So make sure we're still competitive on both wages and benefits. So that cost is going to be not to exceed. County Council, they appropriated $60,000 for the project, and basically they want to just come and get you all's buy-in, so to speak, that you would support the project and moving forward with it. So,
Sure.
I reviewed, I've reviewed the contract a couple of times. We've had some language that we've got added.
yes, Greg has reviewed it. We've added that.
I believe it's in order as far as I'm concerned. So
Yes.
to the legal part, it's good, and to the need portion, it's good as well. So I'm on board with it.
I'm definitely on board. I've been on the committee to
Yes.
start this process, so, and informed, so I totally agree.
And would the commissioners like to sign this, or would you defer to the county council to sign this? I've got a copy here.
We'll sign it.
Okay.
As long as you're happy with it,
Fine.
to the form. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve signing the consulting services document for job classification and compensation study with Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy,
I'll have somebody.
pending final approval for the funding from the county council.
A second.
Any other discussion?
None.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
You had a copy, Jan? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you all.
So we were going to talk about our appointments that we were gonna make for the next year, and Commissioner Hofstadter isn't here, but the one that I think you were gonna work on, the Northeast Du Bois Fire Protection District, have you made
Yes.
contact with those folks?
Give me just a second here. I might have an answer. I've reached out a couple times. I do not have an answer. So I will try again.
Okay. Auditor Morton, if you don't mind, put that on the agenda again for miscellaneous items for next time.
So I've got got one left, and that's all I have.
And that's the only one you're waiting on yourself,
Yes,
correct?
just the one.
Just something I wanted to bring up just for your information, if you were aware or weren't aware. Indiana University's 2026 Rural Placemaking Studio, it's a grant project where they'll come down and they will help planning for arts and various things in your community. So it's a situation where they'll help you plan. They won't fund any projects, but I didn't know if you were interested in it. I just wanted to, I gave it to Duke Strong. I've given it to you, just if anybody wanted to run with it. There is some availability for that kind of planning assistance going forward. What time we got? 59. So we're 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The next miscellaneous item I wanted to hand out was another person or entity that is considering making a request for some of our opioid funds again. So I'll tell you, put that in Commissioner Hostetter's folder when you're done. So this one is for the Du Bois Transport Program. If you, I don't know how much you know about this, but there's a transportation program in Du Bois County run by Safe Haven. Safe Haven is out of Orange County, but for the last year or so, I'm just gonna kind of condense this. They will give rides to people that are in the system. So if they need to get to a counseling opportunity or they need to get to a job, all the details are here of what they do. So they've had funding for the first, for a time period. That funding is running out and they're asking for us to consider supporting the transportation program going forward. The very last page of the file that I gave you kind of shows the number of rides that they've given from November of 24 through September of this year. And these are for Du Bois County residents only. And it's 1,301 rides and 274 unique individuals over that time. So the hope is that it's not a permanent solution for people, but it helps people get back on their feet, get to the things that they need to get to. And they can transport 4 people at a time. If basically they transport people that are in the criminal justice system or previously involved in the criminal justice system. So just something that hopefully you can review between now and the next time when we talk about the opioid money.
You said Safe Haven?
Yes. I think on the second page there is their contact information for their chief financial officer and kind of what they're asking. So I know that there's quite a bit of email and data here, but it's something we can consider.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Also from last meeting until today, we have another disbursement that's is coming in. So the opioid money is continuing to come in. It'll come in for many years to come, but it's not indefinite.
17 years.
Another 17 years for some of them, yes. So what we don't want to do is sit on the money. The money has been given back to the community so that they can put it in and help with the effects of the opioid epidemic that had happened. So we want to do what we can to help with that.
You have some surplus.
Okay, what do you got?
I have a copier from Small Claims that's over 10 years old and cannot get new parts for it. They are budgeted and will receive an email. So I think they delivered that.
Okay, then Mr. Wilson's supposed to come at 9:30 as well for some other,
He's got other stuff.
is he coming for anything other than getting rid of those surplus items?
I cannot answer that.
Colin?
If you want.
Well, for the benefit of just moving on with this one piece, I'll say that I'll make a motion that we declare the copier from Small Claims as a surplus item to be disposed of.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And let's take a 5-minute break and we'll come back because we're ahead of schedule and I know that there's we just have to wait for people to show up for a couple things. Let's take 5 minutes.
That's what he told me.
So we don't want to get rid of that, let him buy it. He never told me that.
No, it's good thing you bigger tree.
Greg, you got 45 minutes of time? I guess I'm going to schedule All right, folks, let's come back to order.
There's some extra seats over here. If anybody wants to sit, we've got 3 extra seats over here. The ones in the hallway.
All right. You got 3 chairs. Yeah. Dave, would you be a leader and have a seat over here? Yeah, there's 3 seats over here. Might as well let people sit down. Everybody's being too polite here. Okay, so just for the people that are in attendance, on our agenda, we have a 9:45 time slot to talk about the Mid-States Corridor project, and we are going to talk about that. My concern is I don't want to start talking about it and then people talk about it early and then people show up that want to talk about it and we're already done with the conversation. So we may start that conversation a little bit early, but we're going to push it just a little bit here yet. We do have a couple surplus items from 911. I believe those items are, there was equipment that was part of a communication trailer that was owned by the city of Jasper that has been decommissioned and auctioned off. It did consist of old dispatch radio parts that we have, and we haven't used those for the last decade. So it's an EF radio, Johnson model. We got the serial numbers here, and a couple of those, and a Tesco VHF antenna, and an Omnicron electronic audio cassette recorder. So I've reviewed those. I don't think there's any value to the county any further. I'll make a motion that we declare those items surplus.
Second.
Any other discussion?
None.
All in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Schneider, do you have anything for the board today?
Under not.
County auditor, do you have anything else for the board today?
I don't think so.
Okay. And did you, Commissioner?
No.
Well, I guess the agenda is subject to change, so, oh, we've got that one. Okay. That sounds good. Let's do that. Thank you, Mr. Schneider. I overlooked one of the agenda items at 9:15. It says Crossvine Solar AES battery safety. Randy Bartle wanted to come up. Is Randy here?
Yes,
There you are. Thank you.
we got some petitions.
Okay.
We got those in about 2 days. So if more petitions would help. We wouldn't have any trouble getting more. So,
Okay. Do you want to talk?
yes.
Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you guys doing?
Good.
All right. DuBois County Commissioners, I am standing in front of you today with my neighbors and with a sincere and heavy heart to ask you to consider placing a pause moratorium on the AES Crossvine Battery Storage System and Solar Project. So the one between Holland and Huntingburg, west of the airport. We want to allow for time to better understand the impacts of this infrastructure. This is not a message born out of hostility to renewable energy.
And who are you? What was your name?
Yeah, I'm a property owner adjacent to the facility. Yeah, Holly Bartle Gogol.
Thank you.
It is not a message born out of hostility to renewable energy. It is a message born of the love for our home, our land, the safety of our children, the honorable members of our emergency services, the people who have tended to and sacrificed for this land, and most importantly, to the future generations who will have to inherit the consequences of your decisions today with respect to this project. Before I continue, I want to take time to acknowledge my neighbors who are present behind me. If you guys can all please stand if you have any concerns about the solar and battery project. Thank you.
I made the wrong assumption that everybody was here to talk about the Mid-States Corridor, not the battery thing, so
Additionally, I do not want to discount the more than 100 signatures we have collected over the last week, many of whom were unable to make it today due to some job commitments. My story is one of living out a promise to my grandparents, to honor the hard work of my elders, to live on the land where my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents lived and worked, to love this land where I grew up and where my children are currently making memories. A large number of the folks behind me today have a similar story to mine, the story of caring for this land and community that will be adjacent to this project. Right now, it feels as though our rural landscape and the people who live here, the same people who have given back to the county their entire lives, as well as those who are trying to establish their future lives, are a page being erased before we've had a chance to read it. There has been little, and in most cases, zero communication on this project to the neighbors and local communities to be directly impacted. There has been no public communication, meetings, or similar. The town of Holland has had zero direct communication on the project. No plans, no maps, no details, no timeline. Residents that have been contacted have received a general letter. There are a handful that have. With that, this has been a generic letter, no plans, no maps, no details, no timeline. There has been no public involvement on something that will have serious, if not also dangerous, consequences. As mentioned by a community member at the commissioners meeting on October 6th, there are some significant safety and environmental drawbacks of the battery energy storage system and solar panel project that were of concern. While the causes of battery system risk were also presented to the commissioners on October 6th, we are interested to hear your thoughts on how this will impact the limited resources of our fire departments, both volunteer and city. There have been fires at the solar farms in our neighboring counties. From research and communication with those who have responded, the following must be done. So let's start with fire at a solar panel. The solar farm operator of the system must be present to initiate the shutdown sequence or de-energize the system from the inverter. Noting DC power remains in those panels, remains in that system. If the inverter is damaged, disconnects must be found and shut off. Again, this must be done by a solar farm operator, someone who may not live in this community or this county. Once power is confirmed to be off, crews can suppress the fire. Considering that burning solar panels and associated components release toxic chemicals and the risk of electrocution remains. Due to the persistent electrical hazards, firefighters often adopt a defense posture, spraying from a distance. Oftentimes, they just let them burn out. We are of the understanding that if there is an incident where a vehicle were to leave the roadway, drive through a security fence, a chain link fence, and into the solar panel field, it would be extremely difficult to safely respond to the individuals involved. A fire at the battery system is another issue. So at the battery storage system that they are proposing with this project. Firefighter response to a large scale 85 megawatt facility battery energy storage system fire primarily revolves a defense operations, focusing on containment and exposure protection rather than direct extinguishment of the burning batteries. The key challenges are the risks of explosion, toxic gas release, and the difficulty of extinguishing lithium-ion thermal runaway events. If on fire, these fires cannot be extinguished. They cannot be extinguished, taking days or weeks to burn out. This project is less than 2 miles from Holland Elementary School to the west and approximately 2 miles from Huntingburg Elementary School, Southridge Middle School, and Southridge High School to the east. The proposed Crossvine battery storage system and solar panel project is adjacent to a large tributary, will lie along a floodplain, as it is surrounded by homes and farms. This project represents a serious misuse of valuable agricultural land and emergency services. This sets a precedent for the use of battery storage systems in DuBois County in the state of Indiana. We understand that you are taking this infrastructure very seriously. I do not want to discount that. But we want to take this opportunity to make this information public, as it has not been shared, stating that a significant increase in setbacks from schools, homes, utilities, streams, and roadways have been some of the best proactive planning other counties have executed to be effective against a devastating incident, going above the limited default setbacks. This soil has held stories for decades. It can soon hold batteries, steel, and glass instead. Du Bois County and the city of Huntingburg will be responsible for upsizing structures and maintaining the results of increased watershed, as there will be an increase to the acres of impermeable area as a result of solar panels. This area drains into the same watershed as the city of Huntingburg. Has the impact of this development, additional impervious area been evaluated and mitigated to prevent or worsen flooding conditions within the city limits and on county assets? All school districts in Du Bois County have fields next to their buildings. By solar farm and battery storage system to be constructed between and in close proximity to the schools of the Southwest Du Bois School Corporation, the door is being opened to allow for future facilities to be installed next to other vulnerable and valuable rural locations in the future. We are pleading for your assistance to intervene. Pause the project to assess the extent of the project, the risk, and any potential long-term burden of this project in its entirety. We understand that you must balance protecting individuals' rights while also having the responsibility of being the legislative body for local ordinances that need to be passed for the protection of this county, as stated on your website. As an elected county official, the two of you today, the three of you in total, are setting the precedent for the current and future generations of all portions of the county. We hear that the other areas of the county are being considered for battery energy storage systems and additional solar farms. Are we going to be a county of towns and solar panels? How are the agricultural businesses, may it be Far Best Foods, Prairie Farms, Hope Equipment, Blush Equipment, Wright Implement, co-ops, and small farms expected to survive? If you want the next generation to remain in this county here, living and working in this county, do you think these projects are the means of encouraging future lives here? Thank you for your service and your willingness to listen. I hope you will protect the land, the people, the children, and the legacy of those who have fought to protect this land we love so much, to keep our Du Bois County strong, and let us safely and honorably end our days at our beautiful homes. In closing, I have a few questions in hopes that we can better understand the current status of the Crossline Solar Project and battery storage system. It is our understanding that this county, Du Bois County, has solar ordinance number 2022-12, an ordinance establishing and adopting default standards for commercial solar energy systems, an ordinance that mirrors the state laws that provides minimum default standards for commercial solar projects. Has the county considered strengthening the existing ordinance, increasing setbacks, noise restrictions, a process for siting large battery scale storage systems, etc.?
Oh, you want to ask one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. No, we haven't.
Okay.
I mean, that's the short, we haven't just, I'm not saying that we won't or that we're opposed. We haven't had any discussions on doing anything other than what we've done. So we're open to it. We just haven't done that yet.
All right. Could you share the details on the decommissioning plan requirements for this specific project? Specifically, have the funds been secured upfront so taxpayers aren't responsible if the company fails or leaves ensuring adequacy reviews over time? So we have enough money in that fund?
So I would have to dig through my records because I believe that the Duff, tell me if I'm correct, we have an agreement.
There's a decommissioning plan for what is now AES, which was once the Crossline Solar. That was a requirement whenever the permit was issued. And I don't recall the year.
Okay.
Probably 2 years ago.
So whatever it is, I guess that you would request, I'd be happy to provide anything that we have. I'll give you 100% of the emails or anything that I've ever done. Here's my information if you want that, and I will provide all that to you. Anything. What I would hate to do, because I think I did this last time when somebody was here talking about this, I spoke off the top of my head, and I'm not sure I was 100% accurate with what I said. So I would rather be prepared and give people the full correct and accurate answer.
Sure.
Because I don't want to. I hate for you to come in and say, "Hey, here's how it is," and be wrong.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't do it for. In bad faith, I would just do it because I don't remember, because there's a lot that goes on. But I do have a lot of things I can share with you about what I do know about the current state of the process.
Do you care if I get through my questions first?
No, I would love, that would be
Great.
fine, but I want to tell you that somebody, I spoke to somebody in the area that lives in this area that had the same concern you did on Saturday for about a half hour on the
That
phone.
was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, oh, okay, that was you.
Yeah.
The the person that emailed me yesterday was a different person. And so anyway, I sent them all kinds of information. So I
Great.
apologize.
No
It
worries.
was nice talking to you. You're very kind.
So while we understand the commissioners want to allow property owners to do what they want on their own property, a question we have for the three of you, for the commissioners, is what is the limit? So could you tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah, I would say the way it's set up currently is whatever would be legal by state statute on a person's property would be legal in the unincorporated portions of the county that aren't under the jurisdiction of City of Jasper, or their jurisdictional limits of the City of Huntingburg, Ferdinand, same town of Holland. So all of those places have their own rules, and then they get a jurisdictional limit outside of that. But I was actually thinking about this weekend, so there are some people that want us to have countywide zoning, right? And we had gone through countywide zoning, it's probably been 30 years now, where the Board of Commissioners at that time they paid a consultant, they built up what it would look like, they had maps, they had things colored, and what I was told about it was people that own farms came in and said they didn't want people telling them what they can and can't do with their property. It became the commissioner just said, great, it's not worth it, and they dropped it. So if we had to some of your points, if we had countywide zoning, which some people are in favor of and some aren't, then there would be a little more of this kind of restrictions. But
Yeah.
my stance, as it stands today, I think I mentioned this to you on the phone, was if it was up to me, soybeans and corn, and because I like that. That looks better for our community. I think, like you said, it's better for the long-term health of our community. And I think it's better for just overall. But what I would hate to do is say, there's people in this room that are landowners. I would hate to say, the bar will say, I don't want you, whatever it is, I don't want you to put another farm building on your property because I just don't like it. I don't
Yeah,
want
and I guess I want us to expand on that question a little bit more, because there already are ordinances on what you can do on regulating private property, right? So for example, Du Bois County Ordinance 2019-01, also known as Chapter 92 of the County Code, is the property maintenance ordinance. So it's for unincorporated areas of Du Bois County, and it kind of does give you some restrictions, right? Like this is an ordinance to how to maintain your property to be a good neighbor, right? So there are some things in there already. There is a commercial solar energy system ordinance. So while I get what you're saying and I respect that, I appreciate that, right? The county does already have some stuff in place also, right? So there's kind of two sides to that coin.
Not really. For the way you're putting it out, there's nothing within any of those ordinances that would stop a person putting a hog farm there or putting a solar panel farm there.
Okay, so just to be clear.
It would be if they had a hog farm and they had scrap steel, or they had something that would be something that would make more mosquitoes come right. Things that are health, safety, or there's trash, garbage, those kind of things. But if it's a maintaining property within those standards, it wouldn't be.
So I've got a dramatic question that I would like you guys to get you to answer, and just to prove my point. Would you let a new coal mine go here? Would you let a battery energy storage system be adjacent to Ireland or Jasper Elementary School? An adult bookstore to be constructed in the field next to the school within the limits of this project, or a chemical waste facility to go uphill from Patoka Lake if it was on private property in the outside of the zoned areas?
So the things that you said there that are would be adverse to health and safety, there are already rules against.
Okay.
Adult bookstores. There's things already against chemical waste. There are things against all of the things that you said that would be effective.
Yeah.
Just as there are rules with this type of battery storage system. Like I mentioned to you on the phone, I believe, and other people, when I looked at the statute, we don't get to permit if there's a battery storage facility in our county or not. There's a state board, I don't remember which one it is, that gets to determine. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission.
Yeah, so we don't get the final say on it, but what we can say is kind of like what we were talking with this lady earlier that was in here, or still here. We can say you have to meet certain standards for that one.
Yeah.
So there are some things we can do, yes.
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing here by me being able to scan these and tell this company, people in our community are really excited about you being here. I don't know what that'll do for them, and I can tell them my perspective on it. But I would guess the people that own this land that are gonna be profiting off of solar panels being on their property are not, they would be on the other end of this coin saying, I really like the idea that I can earn money passively by leasing my land to these people. So I would hate to, it is two sides of the coin. I understand your rights and your desires and I think I share them. I would rather than not be there. But if I'm that person, I would like to be able to profit off of my property.
So, I mean, does that mean you need to look at the solar ordinance a little better and see if the
That's just that
setbacks are
person
accurate?
speaking, that's what the person speaking, talking, we'll have public comment at the end.
No, that's fine. So, as said in my message to you today, we do see this as a health concern. We see this as a safety issue for those individuals living right next to it, across the street from it, but also for our first responders. So with that being said, what are the specific benefits this project is bringing to the county? It's not for energy. To my understanding, this power generated and stored here will not stay here. It's not really for tax revenue. The project areas assessed will not be agricultural, but utility. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. That's hard to find out information on. But with the associated risk of this project, why is this project good for the county? And I taking what this individual took into account and taking that into consideration, you guys do have ordinances. You have the power to amend your ordinances. So yeah, what are the benefits for this for the county?
Yeah, I would say they're limited. Yeah. No,
Thank you.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with you at all on most of what you're saying.
So I got one final thing, and
Sure.
I definitely want to open it up to the rest of the room, but 72 of the 92 Indiana counties have a moratorium on solar panel projects. Have you considered putting a pause on the project due to any of the following reasons? Public opposition and concerns, to create a new or amend existing ordinances, and the permit, all of the things signed for this project were with BP before it was sold to AES. So we did see that a permit was approved while BP was on the project. Has anything in the permit changed? So, keeping all that in mind, have you guys considered putting a moratorium pause on this project to find out more?
I'll look into it and I'll discuss it with Mr. Schneider. That would be my take. What do you
Right.
have? I hate to be doing all the talking. If you have
Right,
something you want to
no,
say.
I echo just about everything. I understand exactly what you're saying. This is something that we need to definitely look into, and go back and look at notes and contracts and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at. I appreciate the input from the public. This is the kind of thing that we need to hear. So,
And if that's true, that there's 72 to 92, that says something. That speaks pretty, that also, when we talk about having zoning, I don't remember the exact number, but it's probably 82 of the 92 counties have zoning. I would assume I think it's somewhere in that range. So, we're going through a comprehensive planning process right now, and that's one of the issues we're talking about, if that would be beneficial to our community. And it would help with some of this. Because out of one side of my mouth, I'll say I want people to have freedom to do anything they want with their property, right, within the restraints of law. But that's going to tick me off considerably when it happens next door to me. Right. And everybody would say the same thing with their property. I want you to have rights, but I don't want a hog farm in my backyard that's going to smell all the time, or a potential meltdown.
And this is a huge safety issue, right? Huge safety risk. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're definitely right. Yeah. If that's the last of your questions, I will share with you what I shared with another one of your neighbors. I think it'll give you some answers to some of the things you asked earlier. And then I think we will review kind of your request. And did you want these back? Or do you want me to scan them, or?
Yeah, scan them and get them back to the group, please. That'd be great.
I'd like to be able to sign it.
If you don't mind, just have them scanned, or just make a copy, and then you can get them.
And this individual would like to sign it.
I've got one out here, Molly.
Okay.
All right, just for the people in attendance, and this will take a minute or two, but I'll read to you what I sent to this person last night. I don't want to give her name just in case she doesn't want to give it, but I'll just tell you what it said. I did send a copy of the layout. I do have a map that shows the layout of what they're planning. You may have that already, but if not, I'm happy to give all of this away. And again, if anybody in the room wants my email address or my contact information, they're welcome to come up and I can give my card. So I forwarded her a copy of the layout of where this property, what property they're planning to use. Also, I'll just read to you this is what I wrote to this person. I attached a document showing the layout. They also stated the following, they being the solar AES folks. Here's what I told her. They stated, and when I say we, this is AES. We want to proactively address any community concerns and maintain open communication. We are currently preparing our stakeholder engagement program for the project, which includes a website and detailed information about the project location. We are also planning an open house with the community in November. The open house will be a great opportunity for community members to come speak with us in person, where we can answer any and all questions and hear out concerns that we can proactively work to address as the project develops. We will also have handouts and visuals to provide more information and increase transparency. So I know that there's a feeling that they haven't communicated anything, so it looks like they're at least going to start that. We'll be sending invitations to neighbors and community members, and that the letters that they did send out previously, it says they sent them to parcels within 0.25 mile radius of geotech investigation area, where we anticipated potential noise from minimal pile driving. Our broader outreach for the full project is beginning in November, with construction expected to start in March. They also wrote the following here. As for the battery energy storage system, BESS, the project includes a group of BESS units located adjacent to the substation, and that's on that layout. The system will consist of 92 enclosures with a total installed capacity of 85 megawatts over 4 hours. These systems are designed and installed in accordance with NFPA 855, which requires minimum setbacks of 100 feet from existing structures. All listed structures are located more than 1.5 miles from the project site. The project has undergone a hazard mitigation analysis, which did not identify any risks to surrounding areas. Additionally, we will coordinate with local authorities and equipment manufacturers to provide first responder training prior to commissioning. While this may be our first battery project in this specific area, AES has hundreds of safely operating battery assets across the country, and we bring that experience to Crossline. So again, that's not my word, that's what they told to us, so I'm just sharing it to you. I don't want you to think that I'm saying, oh, just sit down, it's a good project. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, please continue to voice whatever your thoughts are. But
I guess one thing to add, this will be the second largest battery storage system in the state of Indiana, second only to Pike County that just came online less than a year ago, less than 6 months ago, I believe.
did you say that they had an issue over there that you're aware of, or there was a fire?
I've been seeing reports of and talking to folks with respect to the one in Troy.
Okay, not the Pike County
Not
one.
Pike
Okay.
County, no. I'm not reached out to them.
Okay. Did you bring anybody else with you here that you'd like to have make a comment?
I'd like to just open it up to the room. I believe there are a handful of folks that would love to make a comment.
I was
Yeah,
gonna run
please.
copies and return those back.
Thank you.
Okay.
So what I'm not going to do is open it up to the whole place right now. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because we do have a public comment section at the end. So I want to, because I'm afraid if we start this might go on. I will sit here all day and hear every one of your comments, but I'm going to just do it in order. Yeah. Is there anything else from?
Can we actually have the city of, or the town of Holland, excuse me, folks, can they have a moment to speak?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm Melanie Barrett, the president of the town council. We did not get any information from AES at all, not a letter, not any comments. I have a real problem with them doing first responder training after it's commissioned, because what good does that do us? Because we have a volunteer fire department. The only way to put it out, if you're gonna put it out, is with large quantities of water, which is a ground problem. Yeah, any toxic gas is gonna go into the ground. Really am concerned about it being that close to the school and also to the town, because if there is a thermal burnout, which can happen when they get too hot, and if it's not properly contained, then you have to evacuate within 2 miles, 2 to 2.5 miles. Having EMS set up, I don't think emergency management has been told. I know our volunteer fire department has not been told. The town council wasn't informed. We have not, until Holly brought it to us, we knew nothing. I have a problem with the putting them online and then saying, okay, we'll train you. So I do think that we need a lot more investigation, and I agree. If you have property, you should be able to decide within reason what you do with it. But also you have to be a good neighbor and community-minded. To me, this is not community-minded. And I wouldn't go say, well, what, you wouldn't like it by Jasper, or you wouldn't like it by Du Bois County Schools, other ones. But it is a problem for us, and there has been no communications, none whatsoever. That is a problem. The public has all of these things out there, and you have to go online with all our meetings. Why has this not been brought to us before now? If they're going to start in November, this is November, and we know nothing about it. So we have a real problem with how do we evacuate the town home? We don't have an emergency plan in place. Do we do that after it's already built? It's a problem for us. It really is. So just consider that.
My name is John Kalmarter. I'm also on the town board. And I mimic what Melanie said about not knowing. I was in Ohio this weekend, got a phone call saying, you know anything about this battery? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm on the road coming back from a family event, trying to figure out in my head, what am I going to do as a town council member? We've got our school, a daycare that has numerous kids, not just from our city, but they bring them in from Huntingburg and around these areas. So now we've just taken all these kids that are not
225 kids.
25 additional kids other than our school kids that we have to worry about. And we have to figure out a way to, like Melanie said, now we have to do an action plan. I talked to Brian, our fire chief, last night on the road, and he's like, I just heard about this. Now I just heard about that a week ago. I don't know. But it's upsetting that now we, as a community, have to figure out how we're going to fund an evacuation. And if you guys know, budgets are terrible now. So we have a daycare we have to worry about, a school that we have to worry about, and our elderly that we have to worry about. I just think this is irresponsible, just irresponsible. They say that they're going to give us training, but after the fact, who's going to fund it? If we have like they had that train derailment, and all those people up there in, it was Ohio, I believe, they're still struggling with this. And now this place, I'm retired military, I believe in the what if monster. What if this goes up? Now we have to worry about wind drift, we have to worry about all these other places around here, and now we're gonna be stuck with cleaning up. That's all I have.
My name's Dwayne Keck. Basically, I can let you know I live at 750 South, 400 West. I live just southwest of the Hyde School, the schools in Huntingburg. To answer your question, to get the response back from them, this year I received 2 letters from the company. Well, it has the email address on it. So I got on my phone, I typed in the email. Just like that, it comes back, you're not on our list. So I couldn't talk to nobody. Second letter I got, same thing. So what I did, I took their letter, wrote at the top, false information, sent it back. Finally, in about, 3-4 weeks, someone showed up at the house and was asking if I would like to have trees planted around my house to hide these panels, because they're going to be 50 feet from my fence line in my house. And the second thing is, 2 or 3 months ago, my wife thought, well, we possibly try to sell our house and get away from them. Well, just 2 weeks ago, we took it off the market and decided to stay. And just last week, we spoke to a lady that said they came and looked at our house. And she said if her husband knew that they were gonna be putting solar panels in, they wouldn't buy our house. So now I'm stuck with solar panels around my house. Anybody here wanna buy my house? It's gonna have solar panels.
I'll give you pennies on the dollar for it, yes, sir.
I'll burn it. That's my problem. I mean, yes, the farmer should have it right, but he should have considered his neighbors. He's not here now, God forbid, but the individual that owned the ground has passed. But I look at it that his sons have to live with the neighbors that are upset about this decision. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we will,
I guess I would like to know what you guys' update process will be, especially with the permit that was approved, the decommissioning plan that was approved. What are we signed up for as a county? Again, if they get all these things put in the ground and go out of business the next day, how has the decommissioning fund been funded? Is it after 30 years? Is it slowly over the 30 years of the installation of these? We as a county don't want to be left with these things, right? And the responsibility to clean them up without any money. So
any agreements that we've had with this one or with the other one we've been very thoughtful about them. And the reason about it is we were left with a hole in Madison Township where we had bonds in place that were supposed to protect the community. And when they go bankrupt, those bonds are hard to get a hold of because the bonds are still there, but the bankruptcy people get to say, we're gonna hold on to them until this plays out. And how long did it take to play out? 4 years? I mean, it's still.
and this is a lot different than a whole.
I know it's still playing out, but I'm saying before work got done, it was just year after year, just a hassle. So when we reviewed anything that we've done with either of these two solar people, and I to, with that in our heart, that we know what up there. So it's, yes, we've taken it seriously, and if we, whatever they offered, you can vouch for that. I've always said, that's not quite enough, and we've upped it, to do the best we can within the confines of what we're allowed to do.
I have one more comment.
All right, this will probably be the last comment on this issue until the public comment section.
Okay, I was looking last night at loans. AES, it's a Chinese company for one thing, but BlackRock is on the process of buying the solar project. BlackRock hedge fund, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Indianapolis papers. So we're gonna have three owners before they even put a panel on the ground. So you really think that anybody's gonna be around to clean that up?
I think they will look out for their bottom line and their shareholders and themselves. That's how it historically is. So, no, I think we're on the same page there.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you for a thoughtful and detailed presentation. We need the input. So to ask what our next steps will be, I'll spend time the next 2 weeks reviewing where we are, where we were, what we've done so far, and I'll bring it up to the board to say, is this, I'll check with our attorney, I'll check with what people are doing around the state, and I'll say, it was reported to us that there's moratoriums all over the place. Is this something, I won't say that we'll do it, but I'll say, is this something that we want to do? Is this something, so I'll bring it up again next, at 17th. But again, I don't want to give you false information today or half thought out information.
Please do keep in mind the property values. That's what Dwayne was pointing out. That's a big issue for all of us in this room.
Yeah, that was the other thing. The realtor told me that I'd probably lost at least $100,000 on my own.
And that brings us into the Mid-States Corridor. That's the next issue that we're bringing up because, to your point, I've had phone calls with the same thing. Well, if that road goes right outside of where they will take my property, what will that do to my property value and how? What are you gonna? They ask me, what are you gonna do about that? I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything about that. We can't go around paying everybody for that. But it is it's definitely important. Again, especially if you're impacted, right? If you're within a half mile of a bunch of solar panels or a road that you don't want. I mean, these things all, they have real world consequences for the people here. So, all right, I'm gonna move on to this next thing. So, Mid-States Corridor is the topic for 9:45. Jason, I would like to hear what you say, if you want to hang out for 15 more minutes.
I'll hang out in the back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I typed up a little something here just to say what we're doing. So over the past couple of weeks, Commissioner, I participated in something called the Mid-States Corridor Agency Coordination Meeting. I went to a Coalition Against the Mid-States Corridor Town Hall meeting. I've been to Community Advisory Committee meeting and the Mid-States Public Information meeting that was held at the middle school. So I've been to a bunch of meetings on this in the last 2 weeks. I've also, just like you, I've received emails, phone calls. I haven't received any text messages, so that's the only thing I haven't gotten yet, but please don't.
Give us your cell number.
My cell number is on the county website. If you want to call me, it's out there. So I'm not hiding behind anything. So you're welcome to call me if you need to. But we've been getting a lot of feedback. We've been getting a lot of feedback for months. Also, to that point, the Mid-States Corridor team that ran the community advisory meeting, they requested comments from the public and potentially from our board if we want to make any comments by November 5th. So I guess after our conversation today, we can make a decision if we want to make a comment as a board, or we're of course welcome to make them individually. I'm going to make some of my comments here today. I think we should keep this conversation going. That's why I put this on the agenda today, because I want to be transparent to the public from what I know, and basically just to keep this because the people out in the public, I think, feel like they're getting not the full story all the time, and me as an elected official, I don't feel like I always know the full story either. So I think by speaking about it publicly a little bit, it makes people maybe a little more open, right? I'll say what I know, and people will say what they know, and maybe we'll all benefit from that. So I just think we need to keep that conversation going. It's uncomfortable, I don't necessarily like getting 100 emails or all the, but it's an important thing for the community, and that's what we signed up for. So let's keep the conversation going. Kiana Wheeler, many of us know who she is. She's the major projects delivery project manager for the Mid-States Corridor project. And I've been in contact with her over the last several weeks. I've asked her some questions that I just didn't feel like I had good answers on. She was nice enough to give me some responses to those. I invited her to be here today. Today she's in Seymour, couldn't do it, but she said she will be here on the meeting on November 17th to discuss the project and any other questions, comments, concerns that the board has at that time. So that being said, I want to keep this alive and let everybody know. I think it's fair for the public to know whatever I know, because this is going to affect all of us. So again, I do appreciate her willingness to come and be here on the 17th. And here are some of the questions that I had to her, and here are her responses. So I'm not saying anything that's out of turn. This is just what it was. From the beginning of this project, the reason it was set up the way it was supposed to be a public-private kind of partnership. That's what the RDA is. The RDA is able to. Sorry. That's okay. The RDA was able to solicit funds and donations from government entities and from the public, and they raised money initially to fund the Tier 1 study. From that time on, there's always been a request that NDOT was saying there needs to be a local contribution, right? That's what they call, we need to put money into this. If we wanted to get this project moved ahead of the other projects, then it would help if we put money into it. And that's the same thing that happens with the Board of Commissioners. If person A wants their road done, and person B wants their road done, and person B says, I'll contribute $10,000 to get it done, we will put that person, that will weigh into it so that we get more projects done. So that was one of the reasons this project was able to move forward. And so that contribution amount was always listed as 10%. Okay, so the funding, I believe, was supposed to be 80% from the federal government, 10% and 20% from the state, and the state saying, locals will do 10%, we'll do 10%. That was my understanding from the beginning of how this was supposed to go. So at the beginning, they talked about that 10% number being about $60 million. because 10% of $600 and some million for the project. So my question to her was, now that it's 10% and the project is now 1.1 billion, I'm sorry, gotta use the right letter, billion, is it 10% of the 1.1 billion, or is it 10% of the original number? And here was her, and I just want to make sure I don't want to put any wrong words in her mouth. So I told her that the $60 million figure was what was brought up originally. And she says that 10% was based on total project costs. So I would say it's even higher than the 1.1 billion, because we still have to do land acquisition if it's going to go through. So let's just call it 1.1 billion, but it's going to be more than that. Based on the preliminary estimates, the number range was $90 million to $135 million in local match. But NDOT was open to multiple sources and ways to come up with that match. Part of that being with the relinquishment of 231. So they're kind of saying, if we take that road, we start doing some maintenance on it, or we take some of that, they'll say that's part of that's part of our investment in this road. Either way, $90 to $135 million in local match. The estimate continues to be updated as they further develop the project, but it would be within that range. That concerns me. I wouldn't vote to put $1 from county funds into the road myself. So that concerns me. I just wanted to bring that up, they're gonna ask for that money from us, one way or the other, either through, I don't even know what the range of options they could be, where I know some of it, they're gonna ask for private money, but they're also going to probably, I don't know the depth of where that would come from, but that's a heck of a lot of money to come up with. And I have told, again, when I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking from 1/3 of the board, so I don't want to put words in either of the other commissioners' mouth. I wouldn't vote in favor of putting any money into the project myself. Why is it important? This is my next question. Because one thing recently that they've been doing, Commissioner, is they've been saying, we really need you to take this road over. We really need you to do the relinquishment. We want the locals to sign up so that they feel comfortable in the future that 231 will partially be owned by DuBois County, City of Jasper, City of Huntington. And I asked, why is that important that that's done right now? Because my take on it was, I don't want anything to do with it until the road is built, if the road gets built. And then when the road gets built, it would make sense that we would take over that. It would now become a local road. But I don't know if that road's gonna take 5 years, 15 years, or what. So I don't want to make promises today, personally, based on so many unknowns in the future. So our answer was, having an agreement in place now helps NDOT plan our program, knowing the intent of 231, and if it will remain an Indiana asset or become a local asset, helps them plan and develop appropriate projects on both 231 and understand our program budget as a whole, as we evaluate what money will be allocated toward this roadway or a relinquishment. Again, it's just better for them in their planning, I think, is the short answer to how I read that. Again, I know the cities are both doing some study of the existing asset, we'll call it, that's what they call it, of the existing road. Myself personally, I'm not interested in spending money on that at this time because, again, what the condition of the road today for me isn't as important as what it'll be when we're getting ready to take it over. And I'm not personally ready to take it over. And if you want to say anything, Commissioner, while I'm going through these, feel free to.
I'm listening to your questions and answers.
Another concern that I had was originally, when we had a meeting with NDOT and the Lockmuir group, they wanted us to take the road over now, and we would be doing the maintenance on it immediately. And then I had heard through the grapevine, again, the communication hasn't been wonderful. I said, would we take it over? If we took the road over now, would we start paying for the maintenance immediately? Because that's what they said originally. Now I think it's changed a little bit. It says, NDOT would remain responsible for maintenance of US 231 until Mid-States Corridor is open and complete, unless the county is open to other alternatives as part of the relinquishment agreement. In other words, if we would take it over now, they would say, that's us. Let's just say we were all in love with the project and we wanted to move forward with it immediately. We may say, if that helps get the project going, we'll take over that cost. I don't
Would that
know.
be your in kind?
I don't,
Is that what you're?
that would be an in-kind, exactly, something similar to that. So, but for me, to get to the answer to my question, they weren't expecting us to start maintaining it immediately, which I think 6 months ago, that was my understanding. So here's my question. As I've been reviewing this project and I looked at the tier 2 study and the most recent thing that was let out, and I'm struggling to find the benefit for Dubois County people. What I do see is a benefit for the state of Indiana. If I want to look more holistically, I can see where it could potentially help the state, because if I want to get from Indianapolis and avoid Dubois County completely, I can just take this corridor and move, get through here pretty quickly. So I had a question about that. I said, I can see how Mid-States Corridor improves transportation for the state. I struggle to see how it is beneficial for the average Dubois County citizen. I finished reading the recent screening report, and the Mid-States Corridor is very disruptive to local roads, farms, environment, and people. And I asked, what are the primary benefits to Dubois County residents? So everybody that I talked to, Sue, for example, and a lot of people, I try to say, I'm trying to stay open-minded, because there's got to be something I'm missing. There's got to be some huge benefits here that I'm not seeing. And so that's one of the questions I always ask. What are the benefits for, not for the state, I kind of get that, but what are they for local people? And her response was, there are over 300,000 hours of travel time savings annually within the 12 county study area, which is 600 hours per day of travel time savings with the project for commuters, in addition to the truck hour savings. This is in addition to other economic benefits and support the local industry that benefits Dubois County. And I just made a note to myself that, okay, I see that, I've read that in the report. For me, that doesn't seem satisfying, but you can make up your own determination if that's satisfying to you. I asked about crash data. I said that crash data on page 11 of this report shows lower crashes will happen with the expressway than with the Super 2 type. Okay, and I said, is crash data available comparing the forecast versus the roads we're already using? Are the existing roads less safe than if we had the Mid-States Corridor? The response was, the design of the corridor is more safe than other existing roads in the area, including the existing US 231. The separation or divided lanes of opposing traffic and intersection configurations proposed with the corridor reduce the likelihood of severe and fatal crashes. Okay. And I really hope I'm not boring people out of their minds here, but I just want this to be in the public record. I want to share with my fellow commissioners, so please bear with me. So one of the things when I went to the town hall meeting was they showed how long it took to get on a road, get on the J-turn and turn around. Like, so say I wanted to go straight, but now the Mid-States Corridor is in the way. And it took about a minute and a half. A minute and a half is not huge, but it's huge if you do it twice or 4 times a day for the rest of your life. So that was kind of my next question. I wrote down that the time savings from Jasper and Northeast Dubois County are listed on page 26 of the report. And I wrote, has the amount of additional time added to the commutes of locals due to the roads, this new road being analyzed, has that been analyzed? For example, each person crossing the Mid-States Corridor using a J-turn to get to work, school, shopping, family may add a minute and a half to commute each direction many times per week. And I just said that this question was posed to me by a few people in the community. And she said, yes, the added time for commutes with the plan design have been included in the model and calculations, and the net travel savings with these improvements result in 600 hours of savings per day for cars, excluding trucks, and over 300,000 hours of savings a year total. So that was the response. And I've only got 2 more on you. One of the concerns that I had, Commissioner, was if this road comes through, it's going to dead end some of our county roads. It's going to make that we have to have additional county roads or expand, or, I always think the 1.1 billion plus the cost of land acquisition, that's not the whole cost. The whole cost would be also include what it costs to Jasper, Huntingburg, and Dubois County. So I had asked, when the report states realignment of local roadways is anticipated or needed, will the county be responsible for that or is that component of the Mid-States Corridor project? And I gave her an example on page 19, section 3.1. And she said, no, the county will not be responsible for constructing any improvements identified as part of the project. All elements, including the local facility connections, will be constructed as part of the Mid-States Corridor project. Coordination with DuBois County is anticipated to further develop the project to ensure and considering all of your concerns and comments related with any changes to your existing infrastructure we may need to incorporate. So to summarize that a little better, if anybody went to the Jasper Middle School thing and they showed the maps, or if you look at the maps on the mid6corridor.com site, anything that's in color is stuff that they are going to do as a state if this road comes through. So like if they have a pink coming off of the road or yellow or whatever those are all things that the state would be covering. If we need to make any improvements outside of that, those would be on us. And I'll give you an example of that would be 400 North, if that's going to be a place where people can get on and off of the corridor, that road will need definite improvements. It has huge ditches on both sides,
Right.
or at least one side for most of the way down. So that would be a cost to the county, but they would take care of the first so many feet of it. So anyway, I just wanted to give that as an update. And then my last question, there's not much to it. I just said that it appeared that there are several spots on the project that the existing 231 dead ends. Because my initial thought on this was if a local still wanted to use 231 to get from St. Henry to, you come out and go on St. Henry, you want to get to Hayesville, you could still do it, but that's not really the case. You can't. It's going to dead end. Well, just like when they did the bridge up at Hayesville, the old 231 is a dead end now, right? So the road will get realigned. And, I mean, there still will be access. You'll still be able to get to all the places, but I guess I thought that if it was a question or concern for me, it might be for other people, so that's why I asked that. So I am grateful that she took the time to respond to my questions.
Sure.
Those were things that were eating at me,
Sure.
especially how much are they going to want from the local people? That's a big deal, right? Even if a person locally says, I can see the benefit, that's going to help X, Y, and Z company or people traveling.
Right.
That's one thing, but if you say I see the benefit and I'm willing to give $100 million towards it, that may change your answer to the first question. So
It's interesting.
those are my thoughts on it. Do you have anything you would
No,
like to
I
add?
don't. I didn't know. I love the response, and I'm glad you asked those questions. I had
And
no
again,
idea.
everybody with the project, they've been open and willing to talk to me.
Right.
I don't know what to say other than that. I have a lot of concerns about it. I'm not willing to put money into it. I don't know that the other municipalities have that kind of money to put into it, or if they have a council that's willing to find that kind of money. But that's not our concern. I can just speak for myself, and we can decide as a board. So that's all I had for that.
Okay.
I do not believe we have anything else on our agenda unless, Mr. Leffler, do you have anything?
No.
I don't believe anybody up here did. And did Donnie leave?
Donnie's in the hallway.
Donnie's in the hallway. Okay. So I think that gets us to the part of the meeting for public comments. So there's quite a few people here. If anybody has a public comment, we are willing to take those. And we have a decorum thing and rules about how long this takes. So you probably get 2 or 3 minutes by our rules. As long as people are reasonable, like I said, I'll sit here and listen to you all day. But otherwise, if you want to have a comment, please come up and do 2 or 3 minutes. And if you want to speak longer than that, I'll put you on the agenda and you can talk for a half hour if you like. So anyone?
Jason Hiley, Cass Township resident. I just would like you guys to consider looking at the solar ordinance again. It doesn't impact my personal property, but it'll impact my kids' drive to school, my drive to school.
How will it do that?
Because I drive past all the construction of it every day. It's already impacted, whether I let my kids ride their bike on the road because they're building the substation now.
Okay.
But this is bigger than just one site. I hear of multiple other locations that people are getting under contract for this. So it's going to be a countywide thing eventually. And, you know, maybe the setbacks need to be more than the minimum. You've got large fences that deer can't get around, so where are they going to travel, next to the road or on the road? I mean, there's a lot of impacts that need to be considered on offsets for property lines, offsets to houses, offsets to roadways to allow for safety of people. So that's.
So from, I don't know how much knowledge you have on it or looked into it, but from, do you believe that these are unsafe as a rule? Battery stations are unsafe, and that the existing, trying to think of what the right word for it is, the parameters around what makes a legal project, in your estimation, do you know, I mean, do you have any knowledge of those?
I don't have any direct knowledge. I mean, I do think there are issues with battery systems, as evident on, you know, a lot of websites. You can see where they've caught fire and caused a lot of issues. So that is a public health concern. I've also heard that, you know, some places where they have these where they put the fences up for thousands of acres. Well, it changes how the deer migrate, and they're crossing the road more often or on the road more often because they don't have as many choices of locations to go. So, I mean, I think that's a safety concern in itself, a long-term safety concern. I mean, you also have the short-term safety concern of all the construction traffic going up and down the road that our buses go between Holland and Huntingburg. My son drives to Huntingburg every day. He's going to be going through all that stuff. You know, those are short-term during construction, but there are definitely a lot of issues with that. So.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Can I go next?
Sure.
I'm Terry Brown. I'm one of the neighbors. You know, my biggest concern is we're right there by the schoolhouses. We're between two schoolhouses. Communities ought to have the opportunity to grow. How can these two communities possibly grow if there's these eyesores that's never going to be removed in our lifetime are between the two schoolhouses? Where's it going to grow to? There's nowhere to grow. Number one. Number two, if it's illegal to build your land in such a way that water can't run off of your property or somebody else's, how is it not illegal that they can put up these structures that causes heat that's going to come onto my property and affect my horses and my land and everybody else's? Why is that not just as illegal? Number three, our land values are going down. I'm spending almost $1 million on a horse facility that's now probably not going to get half my money back. Does that piss me off? Certainly it does. But I look at my neighbors and they're in worse shape than I am. They're living next to it. That's not fair to these people to have to live next to something they've paid all their life for, to have to wake up and say they're in retirement age. So I would ask you guys as public officials to reconsider the whole thing. Let them move. Go someplace that are not around a community like this. Huntingburg, I like to move here from Wyoming because I like this community. I've been here 3 years. Now I'm almost sad I'm here because of this damn solar panel issue. It's affecting a lot of people. It's affecting their health. They're worried about it. It's affecting a lot of things, and it's going to affect the growth of the community, which you guys are here to protect and preserve. And that's the big thing. So keep that in mind.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Greg was a part of.
They just handed it to Mr. Mark or Mr. Mark.
It's me again. I have two things. I'm still on the AES thing that, you know, I think that the large quantities of water it takes to put out the solar farms, and they do disrupt. If you go through all of it, everywhere they're at, they do have thermal flame mounts, just like used to. You couldn't get the scooters because the scooters with the lithium batteries would blow up and burn up. Same way with your cars, same way with your cell phones. The other thing with the Mid-State Corridor, I feel very strongly about that. Our kids have to go across that twice a day, a J-turn in a bus. Now, I don't know if you've ever driven a school bus, but if you drive a school bus in a J-turn, it's going to take more than 1.5 minutes. And these kids are going there every day. They're going to have to spend an hour, hour and a half, sometimes hour and 45 minutes on the bus just to get from one place to another.
Which bypass is which intersection?
Well, like
is your main
St. Henry, there's 9 of them.
Down by 1100?
Yeah, there's 9 of them between Dale and Huntingburg. 9, J-turn.
River.
Yeah, I mean, really, 9 of them, that's a lot. You know, when it dead ends, you're gonna have to get on a J-turn, can't get on 231 to get to Huntingburg. And then downtown Huntingburg, downtown Jasper with all of our historic stuff, you know, they're gonna miss all that. The other thing I have is with fire protection. If you're in the middle of Holland and St. Henry, or Holland and Huntingburg, Holland and Jasper, we support each other. I mean, our fire department is great, and they support St. Henry. They come to everything anything's a call, they come. Who's gonna take care of those people in between? How long is it gonna get from St. Henry to the middle of the property, or how long from Holland? How do we get there? And, you know, all of that takes time and, you know, minutes and safety. Fire safety is very important. That's, I'll show it now.
David Green. Mr. Blessinger, I hate to bring this up, but you talked about the zoning. Unfortunately, I'm old enough, I was on that zoning board that talked. It was not only farmers that came in to not want to be zoned. It was a lot of homeowners and several of the towns did not want to. I guess Du Bois County is one of 13 counties in the state that is not zoned. I think that number's still right.
I think it's 12, but you're pretty on close.
Okay, well, anyway, so that zoning thing has been an issue for a while.
Do you agree though? I mean, if we would have done that, it probably would have.
Well, there's other complications, which I found out the hard way. Okay. I cannot stand here without saying something about Mid-States Corridor. I had a very interesting.
For the record, are you opposed to it?
I can't believe you even asked that question. I had a very interesting. That was a joke, I hope. I had a very interesting meeting with the current governor Saturday night. Farm Bureau had a district meeting, and they had him invited as a speaker. Well, it was a fireside chat, which you can't, you know, ask questions on a fireside chat. But afterwards, there's a point. I'd say, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, I had several comments to him. One of the comments was, NDOT has hired a Lockmiller group to do studies. You're aware of that, you've been to those meetings. Okay, they had this time thing, how much time from downtown Jasper to Bloomington to Indianapolis is gonna save. 3 minutes was the maximum Lockmiller came up with on time saving. My comment to him, to the governor, was, you're going to destroy 1,600 acres of farmland in Du Bois County and 150 or so homes. Is that 2 minutes to Indianapolis really worth destroying all that farmland and all those homes? His comment back to me was, well, this is not all good farmland. He actually said that. He actually said that. Yeah. I cannot comment on my comment back to him. But, you know, I mean, I thought that was kind of low. But anyway, yes, I am against the Mid-States Corridor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ring serves on our alcohol beverage board. We appreciate that. He's always in service to the community, so that's appreciated. It's time for a few more people, or we get as much time as we need to have.
I was told you guys are carrying in lunch today, is that true?
That's wrong.
Crackers and cheese.
My name is Sheila Wenholt. I'm impacted by both Mid-State Corridor and the solar panels. One of the big issues we're talking about is when this project is done, what are the effects going to be? What about while it's going on? When they shut our road down, how long does it take to make a J-turn? A year? 6 months? Year and a half? Right now, we have a direct shot to go to work for every day. For a year, with that shut down, how do we get to work? How do our kids get from St. Henry to Holland to school when the roads are shut down? It's not all about when it's done. What about the impact while it's going on, when they shut these roads down? St. Henry Road, they're talking about shutting that down, being a dead end. There are people there's 12 homes that live right there. Their fire department is St. Henry. How does St. Henry get to them? Nobody's talked about any of that. So redistricting. St. Henry is my fire department. How do they get to us when that construction is going on? When I go to work, I try to calculate it. It's gonna take me about 10 miles more for our family to get to work every morning and every night. We go the other way, it's about 8. They're talking about 2-minute savings for trucks. What about a year and a half of us having to do that? Nobody talks about the impact of the construction. Something to think about.
Can you tell the community's upset about this?
If you wanted to speak, please come up to the front.
I'm Roger Pun, community county resident. I first want to appreciate and thank the commissioners for keeping an open mind and digging deeper into the details. I hate cliches, but as we all know, the devil is in the details. And I was part of all the 7 presentations to the community from the Property Rights Alliance to stop the Mid-States Corridor. And we've got a couple more planned. And one of the things that I take away from that is that most of the people that were there that were not informed, they didn't understand that, well, it's not taking my property, it's not taking my house, it's not going to affect me. But once we presented facts from Lockmuir's studies, that it will affect them to the tune of $46 million a mile. And somebody's got to pay for that. And I'm glad, Commissioner, that you're asking those questions of who's going to pay for this. And may not be local tax or state tax or federal tax. It's going to be all of it. They're not going to miss a chance to take money in tax forms. And most recently, I'm sure you're well aware of that, wheel taxes are coming in. Local income taxes will probably go up. If I can quote our state senator that was here earlier this spring, as well, it's not an alternative tax. It's just a revenue generating theme that will fill in the gaps and smooth out the bumps from the loss of revenue that you're going to get from the state on property taxes. And that was astounding to me. It's not an alternative tax. It's just a method of income that will fill in the gaps and smooth out the bumps. I just can't fathom how that's not an alternative tax. But I appreciate your information, and the people that are learning more about it, just like I think you are, understand that this is not just a generational shift in our community and our county. It's, how can I say it? You look at 100 years away, that's hard to look at. Who can be certain? Bring me your crystal ball. We'll all take a gaze into it. So I also attended this weekend the Jasper community planning, and the topics of what's important. The Mid-States Corridor was there, but in the breakaway groups, nobody addressed it. Nobody talked about the what if of it. It just turned into a silent whisper. And I don't understand how that happened. And I kind of blame myself for not making it brought up a little more. But I appreciate you looking at this as well as the solar storage facility. I don't know that those two things are really going to make the communities in the county the place where people are going to come to live and stay and thrive. Thank you.
Good point. Good point.
Last chance.
I'll go. Sitting here listening to people talk about how this is all going to affect the Mid-State Corridor and then the battery farm. I'm sitting on the council of Holland, and we struggle every day on getting things for our community. One of the things that really upsets me the most when I first came on is 161 being a limited access highway. I worked on it. I basically got kicked to the curb. They told me there's nothing we can do about it. It comes by a base by base or case by case. We'd have to look at it. And with the one, I believe it was you, sir, that was talking about when you bring people into this county, they see Huntingburg, the historic Huntingburg. They say, well, this is a pretty cool place. I hear it on the town council that, Huntingburg, Holland, Jasper's got some cool things, not as cool as Holland, but it's just not part of it. But it's once that corridor goes in and it brings the tourist away from, or takes the tourist away from Holland. Believe it or not, we do get a lot of people from Holland that do stop in the Huntingburg and they say, hey, what to do? Go to the Holland Park, But once that happens, you're going to see an impact in this town. Jasper's going to see an impact in the town. A prime example of that is where I grew up in Christney. When they did 231 bypass, that town of Christney died. I mean, died. We used to get people to come down to 231, stop at the Tasty Freeze, stop at the bar, of course. But, we had restaurants in there and it just died because there was nobody coming in. People, if you have a business and you don't have people coming in to make you some money, what are you going to do? You're going to close up. And I think that's going to be a big issue. It's one of the big issues. The next thing about this solar farm is who's going to come into this county? We are, like you say, we're going to be limited on what we can do and what we can build. Can we build a housing community next to a solar field? Nobody's going to want that. So that's the things that we need to think about. And another thing, they're making profit. This company, solar plant is going to make a profit. But what is it going to cost us? We're going to pay for it through taxes, through training for our fire departments and things like that. So we need to evaluate that. They're making a profit, we're taking it out of our pocket. So it's, there's a lot of things that as a community, as the county, we need to think about. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know 2 or 3 years ago when we first had this meeting on the solar panels, one of the issues that was brought up is why aren't they looking at reclaimed coal ground where it's no longer going to be, used for anything else? Why can't they put them in an area like that to where it's not going to be around a community? It's not going to be on a person's personal property. I mean, there's plenty of places that these solar panels could be put that wouldn't affect the community and the surrounding areas.
Seeing no other comments, we're going to close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
That question.
I think that's part of that.
Can you send that to me?